What is going on, traders? In this video, we're going to go over the SPY, triple Qs, Bitcoin, and a stock that I think is going to go absolutely insane within the next few weeks. Before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So right now, we are looking at the SPY daily time frame, and once again, bulls are having a hard time getting us above that 598 level. Now, we did see somewhat of an attempt towards 600. We got as high as about around 599.9, somewhere around that range. But once again, we cannot stay above 598. And so we talked about this level in the past, right? I warned you guys about this level all the way before Jerome Powell even spoke. And I said once we break below this level, we're going to start heading as low as the 570s, and we headed as low as about 579, 578. We started to create lower highs, and then we headed as low as that gap fill all the way at around 576. And so heading into next week, it's important to note that we are on a 3-day weekend. The market is closed on Monday. It's not closed because of Trump's inauguration. I can't believe how many people think that's the case. The market is closed because of Martin Luther King Day on Monday, guys. Like, it's always been closed on Martin Luther King Day. The fact that a lot of people think that it's Trump's inauguration and that's the reason why is absolutely insane to me. I thought that was funny, but yeah, it's MLK Day, so the market is closed. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. But what I will say in regards to Trump's inauguration is that it's kind of bothering me. I will say that much. Now, am I deterring from us seeing previous highs or all-time highs? No, but I will say that it's very much possible that we set a trap coming in on Tuesday, right? And is it likely? No. Is it possible? Yes. And why I say that is because we can easily just simply fill this gap at around 594 real quick and then head towards previous highs, if not all-time highs. Or we fill this gap all the way at 584, which is a very important level, and then we start moving towards all-time highs. Now, I'm not counting on this gap to get filled right away, but I do think this gap is very much possible to get filled right away come Tuesday before we see that next move higher. And so I think it's very much possible that we start seeing previous highs, all-time highs from here. I think that's pretty much on the table. I can't really argue against that. And the reason being is that bulls attempted this level multiple times. 598 has been attempted to be broken multiple times. You tried to break above it here, you failed. You tried to break above it here, you failed once again. And so I do think this is the final attempt on whether or not bulls can make it above this 598 600 level. We'll just say 600 psych level because we've already gotten above 598 at this point. So I do think 600 is your key level here at this point. And so definitely think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of how it's going to play out. And so your key levels above 600 is 602. I talked about 602. If we get above 602, I'm going to lean way more bullish at that point. And then after that, you're looking at a move to 604. Previous high 608.5, 608.6, give or take. You really want to break above these guys right here if we're talking about all-time highs. All right. I don't know what's going to cause that. Maybe Trump's inauguration causes that, and we just gap up once again, and then we'll leave 3 gaps to the downside, which I think would really be troublesome. I would not like that move at all. I mean, would it be great? Sure. But 3 gaps to the upside back to back would be pretty insane. And that definitely tells me that we're going to see a huge correction in the market in the near future. So something to pay attention to. In regards to downside, you break below 594. It's a pretty tight range to the downside. I will say that much. 594, you're heading towards 592. After that, 589.6. After that, you're looking at a move towards this gap fill all the way towards 584. And then after that, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So those are your key levels to both the upside and downside. Again, I do think we're going to start heading towards previous highs, if not all-time highs. It's just a matter of how it's going to happen. I'm not a fan of these 2 gaps to the downside. If we are going to fill a gap, I imagine this one will pretty much get taken out pretty easy before we start seeing that next leg up. So something to think about, something to pay attention to. Bulls have definitely tried to break above and hold above this level multiple times. I think the final decision is going to come next week. And so we look at the triple Qs. And so the triple Qs, I am not a fan of this. Okay, I will say that much. I'm not a fan of this. Whatever this is, I don't like it. All right, I will say that much. I don't. I'm not a fan of this. I think that's clear. Okay, I just don't like how this. It looks too much like a reversal pattern. All right, this looks insane. Okay, um, the average retail trader will look at this and be like, "Oh, bull stepped in. This is a bullish wick." It doesn't necessarily work like that. I'm not a fan of just the fact that this can. It looks too close to a hangman pattern. It's not a hangman pattern, but it's too close to one. So, very much possible. Again, we see a leg down towards about 515 and then see another leg up, very much possible. Or we just, we just crash and burn. I don't know how Trump's inauguration can cause that. Maybe he says something insane. Maybe something crazy happens that day. I don't know, but definitely don't like this. All right. Now, I looked in the past to see if this pattern showed up again. It did show up, and you did have a bullish reaction off of this. But the issue is that this was in a downtrend. All right. We formed this off an uptrend, right? A short-term uptrend. So something to think about, something to pay attention to. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm just not sure about this. Okay. I'm not saying it's going to, the market is just going to drop from here. But if we're considering that gap fill scenario on the SPY, I do imagine that this could be a reversal pattern. All right. Feel free to Google it, look it up. Maybe you guys can comment below and let me know. But yeah, not a fan of this. All right. So in regards to your key levels on the triple Qs, we talked about 515. As long as we stay above 515, you're heading towards 518. 518 is your level here. We broke clean past that. After that, 522. You get above 522. We closed at around 521.7. You get above and hold above 522. You're heading towards 525, 527. And then your key level in regards to all-time highs is 529, 530. Okay, 530 is your psych level. After that, you get above 530, guys. The sky is the limit for the triple Qs, and you can definitely start talking about that move towards previous highs, right where these guys are. And if I had to have an all-time high target, I would say at about 542, between 542 548 on the triple Q. So right now we're still not in the clear just yet on the triple Q. So we're at a wall on both the SPY and the triple Qs. I think that's clear. And so in regards to downside, the main thing you want to worry about is 515. As long as we hold above 515, I think you're pretty safe. After that, you want to see a break below 510 if you're bearish. And then after 510, you really hit a lot of turbulence in this area. It would really take some bad news for us to even consider breaking back below this. So something to think about. Again, that 492 gap fill is still open. All right. I'm not a fan of this as well. This just tells me that something crazy is going to happen in the future. A lot of VIX calls has been coming in on the options chain for February and March. And I mean a lot of them. I mean, Discord members have seen it. They can vouch for me. We've seen it for ourselves. A lot of VIX calls are coming in on the options chain for February and March. So something to consider once we start hitting February. And then we do have a Fed meeting, I think January 29th. So that could be the start of things. Okay, that could be the start of all of this getting cleared out. So we'll see. But um, still bullish right now, at least leaning towards bullish. I still think it's possible we start seeing previous highs, if not all-time highs from here, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. Bitcoin. I told you guys, man. I told you. Once you get above 103K, the sky is the limit for Bitcoin, and we finally broke above that level. In the Discord, we are in Mara calls. We took profit on our Riot calls. I told you guys about the Riot calls last video, so we are in Mara calls for February. I do plan on adding into those calls if we do see a dip at around 18.5, 18 gap fill, somewhere around there on Mara. So yeah, something to look out for, a contract you want to look at. Feel free to check it out if you want to, consider playing that. But right now, in regards to Bitcoin, we broke the sound barrier on this thing. Simple as that. Once you got above 103K, the sky's the limit at this point. 105K, highest short term I'm looking at is about 107K. But like I said, sometime this year, I do think Bitcoin is going to head as high as 130K. It's just a matter of when. All right. Do I think it's going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. But yeah, 130K. But short term, right now, I'm looking at 107K. Highest midterm, I would say, is about 110K. So something to look out for on Bitcoin. It looks great. I can't really say anything bad about it in regards to downside. So definitely keep an eye on Bitcoin. As long as it holds above 103K, I would go as far as to say at 102.5. You're in the clear. Simple as that. All right. So that's all I have for Bitcoin. Now, the stock I want to talk to you guys about is Apple. Apple. All right. So Apple has been getting just absolutely beaten down. And I said this in the Discord. I said if any stock was going to take us to all-time highs in the market, I think it's Apple. Okay. I think it's Apple. All right. It's not guaranteed, it's not written in stone, but it's just a theory. Okay. It's just a theory. Simple as that. So if a stock was going to take us to all-time highs, I think it's Apple because I mean, look how beaten down this thing is. It's like the only thing that's been dropping while the market is going up. So I do think Apple is going to play catch up within the next few weeks. You have you a fallen wedge right here. You want to see Apple hold 229. Lowest it can go if it gives up 229 is all the way towards about 225, which is at really at the bottom of this falling wedge pattern. So right about here, after that, definitely could look to start adding into contracts here, and then you'll see that leg up. Again, I think Apple is due. I think it could head as high as about 245, 250 if we're being greedy. 255 if we're being super greedy. There is a fair value gap that needs to be mitigated at around the 250 range. It's actually right about here. You can see it actually. So right in this area right here, you do have a fair value gap. So yeah, this falling wedge plays out. Apple can head as high as about 250. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Let me go to the daily time frame to see what I got going on here. I got something crazy going on here. Okay. All right. So I see what I did. So rejection here, rejection here. This was just pretty much how high Apple can go for maybe the year, around 270, 280. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but it's definitely something to pay attention to. So you see how clean it is on the daily time frame. Nice little falling wedge pattern. I think Apple is due for a breakout. It's just a matter of when. My guess is the next week or two. So we'll see. All right. So that's really all I have for this video. Discord link is in the description below. In the Discord, someone's been asking me like, do we have quant data and all that fun stuff in the Discord? We got it all, guys. We got all types of tools in here. The bots alert a lot of trades just in case I'm not trading for the day or I'm on vacation or whatever the case may be. You guys can use the bots. There's plenty of tools here. A lot of members like the tools, so we got like a lot of net flow tools, gamma tools, heat map tools, all that fun stuff. Dark pool levels here. So lot of stuff here. It's not cheap at all, right? So please use the tools because they're definitely not cheap. So definitely got all the things you need, or at least I try to make it so Discord members have everything they need just in case I'm MIA for whatever reason or I'm decide to take the day off. They have everything that they need in order to be a better trader. All right, so check it out. If you want to check it out, Discord link will be in the description below. And that's all I have. Until the next video, traders, you have a good one. Enjoy your 3-day weekend.